A lot of people think crochet is one of those things that only certain people can do. Like you have to be born patient, or have some kind of special hands, or spend years watching tutorials before you make anything worth showing someone. That's not true. The real reason most beginners struggle isn't because crochet is hard. It's because they start with the wrong thing. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what to make instead. Simple, satisfying projects that will actually teach you how to crochet without making you want to throw your yarn across the room. Let me paint you a picture. You decide you want to learn crochet. You go on YouTube, you search crochet for beginners, and every single video tells you to start with a granny square or a beanie. So you try it. You follow along, you mess up, you rewind, you mess up again, you rewind again, and somewhere around the third time your yarn splits and your stitches look like they've been through something traumatic, you close the tab and tell yourself maybe crochet just isn't for you. But here's what nobody tells you. That project was too hard for day one. It's not that you failed crochet, crochet failed you. You were handed something with too many steps before your hands even knew what a stitch felt like. And that's the problem we're fixing today. The secret to actually learning crochet and sticking with it is to start with projects so simple that you can finish them fast, feel good about what you made, and want to keep going. That feeling of finishing something, even something small, is what builds the habit. And the habit is what turns you into someone who actually knows how to crochet. So let's get into it. The very first thing you should make is a simple yarn strip. I know that sounds boring. I know you came here hoping I'd say something more exciting, but hear me out. Before you make anything, your hands need to understand the basic crochet stitch, the single crochet. And a yarn strip, which is literally just a long line of stitches going back and forth, is the fastest way to get that feeling into your fingers. You're not making anything pretty, you're just training your hands. Think of it like scales on a piano. Nobody plays scales because they sound good, they play them because it builds muscle memory. That's what this is. Just grab your yarn, make a chain of about 15 loops, and then single crochet your way back and forth for as many rows as you feel like. That's it. Do that for 20 minutes and your hands will already start to feel more natural holding the hook. Once that feels okay, and it will feel okay faster than you think, you move to the next project, a dishcloth or a washcloth. This is one of the best beginner projects in existence, and not enough people talk about it. It's a square, that's literally it. You make a chain, you crochet row after row, and you end up with a square. No shaping, no increasing, no decreasing, no fancy stitches, just rows. And because it's meant to be a square, even if your tension isn't perfect, meaning even if some stitches are a little tight and some are a little loose, it still looks fine at the end. You can make this in an afternoon. You can make it in a few hours. And when you hold it up and realize you made an actual usable object with your hands, something shifts in your brain. Suddenly, crochet feels possible. After the dishcloth, you want to try something slightly more exciting, a simple coaster. Same idea, small, flat, square, or circle depending on what you want to try, but now you're starting to get comfortable with the idea of making something intentional, something you'd actually put on a table, something you might even give to someone. Coasters are perfect because they're small enough that you finish them quickly, and finishing quickly is everything when you're still learning. Long projects are motivation killers at the beginning. Keep things short, keep things fast, build up your wins. Now, here's where it starts to get fun. Once you've done a few of those flat projects, your hands are ready for something with a little more texture and personality, a simple tote bag. Before you scroll away thinking that sounds complicated, let me explain. A basic crochet tote bag is essentially just a rectangle that you fold and sew the sides together, then attach handles. That's it. No complicated shaping, no special stitches you've never heard of. If you can crochet a dishcloth, you can crochet a tote bag. The only difference, it's bigger, and that size difference actually works in your favor, because bigger projects with thicker yarn are easier to see what you're doing, your stitches are more visible, your mistakes are easier to catch, and you feel like you're making real progress because you can watch it grow quickly. By the time you finish your first tote bag, you'll feel like you've leveled up in a way that the dishcloths couldn't fully give you. The next idea is a chunky headband. This is one of my favorites to recommend because it's fast, it's practical, it looks good, and people love receiving them as gifts. A crochet headband is basically a short, thick rectangle that you join at the ends with a small twist in the middle to get that knotted bow look. It uses very few stitches, takes almost no time, and the finished result looks like something you'd see in a shop. There's something really satisfying about making something that looks real, like something someone would actually buy before you even consider yourself good at crochet. It changes how you see yourself as a crocheter. After the headband, I want to talk about a scarf. Not a long, complicated scarf, a short, simple one. Something you can wear loosely around your neck or give to a younger sibling or friend. A basic scarf is just more rows. Longer than a dishcloth, yes, but the technique is exactly the same. You already know how to do this. The only thing that's changed is the length, and because you've been building up to it with all the smaller projects, this one won't feel overwhelming. It'll feel like the natural next step. You'll sit down, put on a show, and crochet your way through it row by row without even really thinking about it. That's how you know the skill is starting to sink in. Here's something important I want to say about all of this. When you're a beginner, the goal isn't to make perfect things. The goal is to make things. Your first dishcloth will have uneven edges. Your first coaster might not be perfectly round. Your first tote bag might be slightly lopsided. That's fine. That's expected. Every crocheter you admire made those exact same wonky first projects. The difference between someone who learned crochet and someone who gave up isn't talent. It's just that the person who learned kept making things even when those things weren't perfect. They finished the project anyway. They moved on to the next one. And slowly, without even realizing it, the stitches got more even. The tension balanced out. The hands got faster. There's also something worth mentioning about materials. When you're just starting, don't buy cheap, scratchy yarn because you think you're gonna mess up and waste it. Cheap, scratchy yarn makes everything harder. It's harder to see your stitches, harder to pull the hook through, and harder to enjoy the process. Get something soft and smooth in a medium weight, something labeled as worsted weight on the label. It doesn't have to be expensive, just not the stuff that feels like rope. And use a hook that's a comfortable size. A 5mm or a 5.5mm is a great starting point for most beginners. It's big enough to work with easily, but not so big that everything feels sloppy. One last thing before we wrap up. A lot of beginners spend so much time watching tutorials that they never actually sit down and crochet. I've done it, most people have. You watch someone do it perfectly, you feel like you don't know enough yet, you watch another tutorial, you feel like you still need to see one more, and suddenly an hour has gone by and you haven't made a single stitch. The tutorials are useful, but at some point you have to put the phone down and just start making something imperfect. That's the only way it sticks. You learn crochet by doing crochet, not by watching crochet. So after this video, I want you to pick one project from this list, ideally the yarn strip or the dishcloth, and just start. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll feel ready after you've started. Crochet is one of those skills that feels impossible until suddenly it doesn't. And the moment it clicks, the moment your hands know what to do without you having to think about it, is one of the most satisfying feelings. It's worth getting there. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.